I'm Robert Shapiro, Dean of Emory Law School, and on behalf of the faculty, I welcome you to the Law School Commencement exercises. We are very proud of the class of 2013 and happy to be here to celebrate this marvelous occasion. As we celebrate you, we know that you have not arrived here today without the loving support and sacrifice of those who are sharing this day with you. Let us recognize all of these mothers, fathers, brothers, sisters, spouses, partners, and others with a round of applause. Note that I mentioned mothers first. I hope that yesterday your gratitude was deep and abundantly expressed. Sitting beside me are my colleagues on the law school faculty. They made sure you were working hard and mastered the exacting discipline of the law. But more, they gave you insights into and a passion for the operation of justice in our society. Please give them a round of applause. There are few occasions in life when we can pause to remember the past, savor the moment, and take the pulse of the future. This is one. You have worked hard to deserve this day. Occasions like this are separated from the routine of everyday life. We wear these robes for a purpose. We engage in ritual rooted in the Middle Ages. Thereby, we are connected to our universities in their great social role of enlightening public life and advancing learning, and in their personalized function of enriching our individual lives. Our time here allows us to grow, permitting us a fuller capacity to live fully considered lives. Remember the conversations to which you have been introduced over the past 3 years. Remember this law school as a place of broad and generous friendships. Remember the years as a time giving you a better understanding of the possibilities of your life. We will certainly remember you with great fondness. Let me thank the student marshal, Chad Lennon, and commencement marshals Ethan Rosenzweig and Sarah Turing for their great work today. Now, I have the honor of asking our Alumni Association President, Della Wager-Wells, to take the podium. Della is a graduate of Emory Law School and president of the Emory Law Alumni Board. She is a partner at Alston & Bird in Atlanta, where she focuses her practice on energy finance for public gas and public power. As you enter our alumni community, I can think of no one better to represent you as the face of Emory Law than Della. Please join me in welcoming Della.
Good morning. I remember this day so well, and time is a paradoxical thing, both precise and fixed in the moment, and recurring and malleable. When I look out at all of you today, the graduating class of 2013, and think of how hard you have worked and planned and striven to be here today. You could be my class of 1986, or one from 20 years before or 20 years afterwards. Your gowns in your pockets conceal all of your eye things, just as, thankfully, our caps and gowns concealed our big hair and those ghastly floppy bow ties they made the women wear in the 1980s. All that we see on this great day is evidence of our common experience. You have earned, and in moments will receive, Juris Doctor degrees and other joint degrees. It's an experience I share with you. Like you, I worked very hard to get into law school, and I worked very hard in law school to get to the point where you are today. Maybe you also share the feeling that all at once, law school was never going to end, and it was over in about 5 minutes. Time's tricky like that. And I think you'll find that the next 25 years are going to be about the same way for you. Law, like most worthwhile disciplines, is an evolving body. And you're just beginning the best part of your law school education. This may come as unwelcome news to some of you families who've come from so far to witness this great moment, the last formal time of your student's education. But a lawyer's education is never complete. A word to you parents and families who've come today. This is a great day, and I don't mean in any way to detract from the joy of this moment of accomplishment with the promise of lifelong learning. These graduates, your graduates, will walk in front of us today and receive their diplomas, which is a tremendous accomplishment for each of them. I'm just saying that the process of becoming a lawyer, the practice of law, is a career-long evolution, and your education will continue daily. Even if you look forward to using your Emory Law School education in another way than in the traditional practice of law. Over the past 3 years, you've learned and engaged in a discipline, a way of thinking and approaching questions, problems, and issues that will be with you all of your life. This is the practice of law. When we talk about the practice of the law, we're not using practice in the sense of doing something over and over again until you get the hang of it, like practicing piano, practicing football, practicing dance. Instead, we're using the word more in the sense of a related word that comes to English from the classical Greek, praxis, which gets at what it means to be engaged fully and meaningfully in a discipline. Praxis is the process through which learning or skill is embodied and realized. Praxis is theory and learning converted to action. During the last 3 years at your law school, you've learned rules and black letter law, but you've also learned to think critically and analytically. You've learned to recognize the rule of law where it exists in organizational structures, whether those structures be our governments, corporations, or universities. And you've learned to identify the rule of law's presence or absence and to advocate within its bounds. You'll carry that understanding wherever you go, to whatever you do in your next steps. You have not only learned black letter law, you've learned to identify important issues and to take an orderly approach to problems. As you embody and realize this learning and these skills, you will be engaging in the practice, the habit, and the discipline of law. Now, since I'm already standing up here and we're already dressed to graduate, I'm going to give you a little advice, if you don't mind. Take an open mind and curiosity with you wherever you go. Be creative, and if you're faced with something new, something unfamiliar, embrace it. Convey your interest in the problem to the partner or the senior associate or the client or the executive who has given you the privilege of considering her question, and then take on the problem as your own. Approach your opportunities with clarity, curiosity, and commitment. Understand and communicate your findings simply, but not simplistically, so that they are useful and accessible to the partner or the senior associate or the executive or the client who asked you to think about the issue. You will reward yourself with mastery of the subject and the quick reliance of your colleagues and your clients. Both of those things are really, really good. Welcome all of you to the practice of law, however you choose to engage it. You're joining us as colleagues, alumni, and peers. We're here to help. Call us. Take advantage of the mentorship programs. Join the young alumni groups wherever you go. This is your law school. Participate in Emory events and reunions. You all have so much to contribute to help your law school reach new levels of excellence. Most importantly, reach back a hand to those who come behind you. Everything any of us does to contribute to the success of Emory alums builds the standing of your law school and increases the value of all of our degrees. Congratulations, Emory Law School class of 2013, and welcome to your new status as Emory Law School alumni.
Thank you very much, Della. Now I'd ask Jake Greenberg and Jeanette Linville from the third year class gift committee to come to make a special presentation.
Good morning, I'm Jake Greenberg.
And I'm Jeanette Linville.
Emory Law has a great tradition that every year a committee of members of the graduating class gets together to raise money to give a gift back to the law school. And this year, Jeanette and I had the honor of chairing that committee. We first want to take this opportunity to thank the members of our committee for all of their dedication and hard work. We also want to offer a huge thanks to all of our classmates and professors who participated in this year's class gift. We're thrilled to announce that over a quarter of our class participated in this year's gift, which is going to support the law school's loan repayment assistance program, our clinics, and other pressing needs of the law school. And we'd like to present this check for $25,933.52 to Dean Shapiro. Again, thanks so much to everyone who participated. And whether you're staying in Atlanta or heading to another part of the world, we encourage you to keep your ties to the law school and to each other strong as we go out and start our careers. Thank you, and congratulations, class of 2013.
Thank you, Jake and Jeanette, and thanks to everybody who helped make that wonderful and meaningful gift possible. This generosity is a signal that the future of Emory Law is assured, as we can prosper only if we are generously supported, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts. I've mentioned the excellence and dedication of my colleagues on the faculty. Each year at graduation, this university presents its highest prizes for excellence in teaching, the Emory Williams Teaching Awards. These awards were originally established in 1972 by Mr. Emory Williams, an emeritus trustee and distinguished graduate of Emory College. The prize recognizes faculty members who foster participation, inquiry, and creative expression in the classroom, and provide a model for teaching and scholarship, and serve as a friend and counselor to students. The awards for the professional schools particularly are designed to recognize a person who conveys in the classroom and exemplifies in life and service the very highest standards of the profession. Previous award recipients have included Professors William Ferguson, Richard Dornberg, Frank Alexander, Richard Freer, John Whitty, Howard Abrams, David Biederman, Bill Busby, Charlie Shaner, Dorothy Brown, and Jim Elliott. The award is selected by a committee of recent recipients, and this year's award goes to Professor Martha Grace Duncan. Professor Duncan, through your advanced training in psychoanalysis and your deep insights into human nature, you illuminate the deepest recesses of the human mind. In courses including criminal law, law and literature, law on the unconscious, and juvenile law, you challenge your students' perceptions of crime and of the adults and children accused of committing it. You are an extraordinary teacher and mentor who embodies our dedication to an education that integrates theory and practice while promoting the highest ideals of the profession. Congratulations. The next award is the Ben F. Johnson Faculty Excellence Award. This award is given every 3 years and is voted upon by prior award winners and students. The award is intended to recognize excellence in teaching and commitment to legal education over a sustained period of time. Prior award recipients have included Professors Tom Arthur, David Biederman, Nat Gazansky, and Peter Hay. This year, the Ben F. Johnson Faculty Excellence Award is presented to Professor Polly Price. A distinguished scholar and teacher and a consummate citizen of the law school and the university, Professor Price exemplifies the qualities of excellence and leadership that characterized Dean Ben F. Johnson. Professor Price, your admirable dedication to the community was illustrated most recently when a call went out for a faculty volunteer willing to offer our first MOOC, a massive open online course. You undertook this venture with characteristic gusto, and now 20,000 students around the world are benefiting from your erudition and pedagogical skill. This award comes with the thanks and congratulations of your colleagues and students. The graduating class makes selections for various awards. I call in our new Student Bar Association President, Megan Ballard, class of 2014, to come to the podium to present these awards.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Emory Law student body, it is my honor to welcome you to the Emory Law School 2013 Commencement. Class of 2013, congratulations. We all know that getting to this point has not been easy. Your years here have tested your intellect and have pushed you to go further, think deeper, and work harder than you ever knew that you could. Sitting here today, you deserve to be so proud of all that you've accomplished. Family and friends, you deserve some credit too. Finishing a degree at Emory Law is not something that can be done alone. Your love and support are the reasons that these graduates are here today. Thank you so much for all that you've done. Class of 2013, today you go out into the world, law school graduates. You've worked hard to get where you are, and I have no doubt that you will succeed. You are an outstanding group of people, amazing men and women who are passionate, kind, and incredibly accomplished. Your passion is contagious. Your class has been an inspiration not only to me, but to my peers as well. I can say with confidence that the successes of future Emory Law students will in part be due to each and every one of you. As you go into the world, keep your passion. When you started here, you were already intelligent and accomplished, but now you possess something unique. You share a common Emory experience. Just as the classes that have come before you, you've added to the rich tradition of Emory Law. You've left a legacy that will be an inspiration for classes to come. As you begin the next chapter of your lives, you will carry the skills and relationships you have developed here. There's no doubt that you will face unanswerable problems, but may you also encounter unimaginable adventures. May you encounter these with the same vigor and intelligence, the same moral courage, with the same passion and delight that you've displayed during your time here at Emory Law. I now have the pleasure of presenting 3 awards. First is the Miss Gloria Jean Fowler Award. The second is the award for the most outstanding 3L student, and the third is the award for the most outstanding professor. The recipients of each of these awards were chosen by a vote of this year's graduating class. Starting with the Miss Jean's Angel Award. Named for Gloria Jean Fowler, it honors the student who most exemplifies the qualities of Miss Jean, a member of the Emory Law School family who left an incredible spirit of caring before she passed away in 1997. Miss Jean spent 42 years as an Emory employee, the last 9 as the snack bar manager at Emory Law. Miss Jean left a legacy of compassion, spirit, and strength of character. This award is given each year to a 3L who exemplifies and embodies Miss Jean's legacy. This year, it is my pleasure to announce the Miss Jean Angel Award goes to Case and Win. Next is the award for Most Outstanding Third-Year Student. Each year, this award is given to a law student who has been an outstanding leader and contributor to the law school community. This year, the award goes to a student who's exemplified what it means to be an Emory Eagle and who has always been an outstanding member of our law school community. Today, we will have the pleasure of hearing him speak, and we'll get to see what makes him so truly outstanding. First, let me tell you a little more about him. I've spoken with his friends before coming today so that I could make clear to all of you what makes him so outstanding. One student said, he always had something positive to say about Emory Law. I remember him introducing himself the first week of school. He took the edge off the stigma the law school has for students being standoffish and overly competitive. Another said, I met him the first day I was in Atlanta. He was one of the biggest reasons I came to Emory. He made me feel welcome. I owe him a lot for what I've been able to accomplish here in law school so far. Another said, he started working to make Emory Law a better place from the moment he arrived. He has the invaluable ability to remain pleasant and calm in the most stressful of situations. Another said, he spent hours every day doing things for Emory that were neither required nor asked of him. No one ever asked him to do this. Instead, he did this because he wanted the school to be a better place. He wanted law students to feel more connected. I doubt there is a single student at this law school who he doesn't know. That, in and of itself, speaks volumes about both his character and his accomplishments. Another student said, he is the rare sort of student who participated in student government less because of the resume boost, but really because he cares about the law school. He is simply a natural leader. People don't follow him because he wants them to. They follow him because they want to. Finally, I have had the honor of working with this student for the past 2 years. To me, he has been not only a mentor, but also a friend. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my great pleasure to present the award for Most Outstanding Third-Year Student to Kason Nguyen. Welcome back. She's the last one.
Good morning. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. We're so pleased to have you here, but more importantly, we're pleased to be graduating, as I'm sure the class of 2013 can tell you. As Megan said, my name is Kason Nguyen, and while I have the distinct honor of speaking to you today, I think the title of Most Outstanding Third-Year Student is a little misleading. And I just want to take a moment to clear things up and ask that this year's award be adjusted. Because I'm just one of, well, they say the job market's tight, but that's another job that just opened up over there. Job because of ambulance chasing, not because of the other potential things out there. I thought I would clear that up as well. But no, where was I? Because I am just one of many of the most outstanding third-year class ever, the class that sits in front of me today. Now, in writing today's speech, I found myself a bit lost at first. I kept wondering, who am I to be speaking to you today? And what thoughts, words, or ideas could I convey to you that would truly be worth listening to? And I finally came to the realization that I have no special gems of wisdom or knowledge or how to practice law or what to expect from your legal careers. But what I do have, and there is one thing that I do know, I know our class. Backwards and forwards, I know the people that comprise it. I know their likes. I definitely know their dislikes, as many of you have made me aware. And I know most importantly what makes them outstanding. And that's why I'm up here today, to share with you what makes the class of 2013 clearly outstanding. So what does it mean? What is the definition of outstanding? I think the easiest way for me to do that and to define that today is to tell you a little bit more about our class. Our class is the class that left its mark of academic greatness on its institution. This year, our law reviews, Emory International Law Review, published more than 1,200 pages of scholarship from authors based around the world and held a day-long symposium on the International Criminal Court. Our Bankruptcy Developments Journal published 2 great books and welcomed the author of the Bankruptcy Code to campus to accept a Lifetime Achievement Award. Our Emory Law Journal invited Ninth Circuit Judge Kaczynski to be this keynote speaker, and even finished the publication of the special edition of Emory Law Journal dedicated to Professor Biederman. Our moot court team sent a team to the Jessup World Competition for the first time in more than a decade. And this society, which I should mention is entirely student-run, ranked 17th nationally. Our mock trial team is the most decorated mock trial class to date. So decorated that their legacy was to purchase a brand new trophy case for the trophies to come in future years. They're also increasing the Emory Law brand and its reach by being invited for the first time ever to the National Ethics Trial Competition based in Sacramento. Our class is also the class that started the Emory Law Supreme Court Advocacy Project, which represents clients to the Supreme Court filing amicus briefs and cert petitions. I should also tell you that one of their briefs was cited by Justice Stephen Breyer, and that in 2012, the Supreme Court granted cert on the Bullitt case that the group had worked on. And I was also informed today that their side of the case actually won today, so congratulations for that. But our class is also outstanding because while doing all of that, and there was much more that I didn't even list, they managed to be people as well, not just law students. Our class is the class that started new social events like Casino Night, an event aimed at building camaraderie and relationships between the faculty, staff, and students by hosting a gambling night in the first floor of our Gambrel Hall behind me. Our class is the class that started the Barely Legal Softball Tournament, an inter-law school softball tournament that really works on building relationships amongst future attorneys in the Georgia area before they even graduate. It's also an overarching sense of camaraderie that prospective students comment on all of the time. At each of our visiting days, we have over 118 student volunteers, and that speaks volumes for the community and the family that we build here at Emory Law. Our class is even the class that tried to streamline communications here at Emory Law by introducing this year a brand new student portal, which I think it's fair to say that we're still waiting for that to be outstanding. So I won't label it that for now. I know what you're thinking now. You're thinking, wow, how is any class going to top that next year or the year after? And you should be thinking that. We've set the bar high, for sure. Fortunately, though, our legacy is to inspire the classes behind us to be even better. And I know that they will accept this challenge with full hearts. Now, all of these accomplishments weren't simply the work of a few movers and shakers, but rather the sum total of the work of many. So many hands played a part in supporting us to where we are sitting this morning. I'm sure my classmates would agree with me when I say that law school is no walk in the park. In a way, it's more like a triathlon. First year is all about swimming. It's all about treading water and not drowning as wave after wave of LRAP deadlines crash down upon you. All you can do is pray that you don't cramp. Second year is all about biking. It's an endless cycle. You feel like you're going in circles and spinning your tires, and you wonder if you'll ever make it to the finish line. You can see the finish line from where you are, but it's a whole marathon of a year away, and that's what the third year is, running. Today, I'm pleased to announce that we crossed this finish line, and we crossed it together. What makes this feat truly outstanding is not just that we finished the race, but it's more importantly how we finished it. It's the late nights spent outlining in study groups, the late night chats with your roommate or friends. It's prepping for the moot or mock trial competitions or tryouts. It's sharing notes with another person when they're sick and unable to go to class. It's relaxing together at bar reviews and other social events. It's even something as simple as waving to each other in the hallways. It's also the support of our loved ones, our cheerleaders on the sideline, our friends, family, significant others, etc. You are the ones that supported us through thick and thin, triumphs and tears, both emotionally and financially. Thank you. There is no doubt that you deserve honorary law degrees today, especially considering that you probably remember more about our first-year curriculum than we do. Let's just take a second and give everybody a round of applause. But outstanding doesn't end here today with this finish line. Outstanding is not confined to the bricks and mortar of the law school. Looking to the future, the word outstanding will also describe our law practice and our involvement as alumni. Given what I've seen this past 3 years, what I've witnessed, I expect big things, outstanding things. And so, I accept this honor today on behalf of the class of 2013. This award belongs to us. It represents the sum total of the work of many. By the powers vested in me that I've just assigned myself, Dean Shapiro is okay with that. On behalf of the faculty, staff, administration, and most importantly, the students, it is my pleasure to present this award to us, the most outstanding third-year class ever. Congratulations.
Thank you, Kaisa. It is now my great honor to introduce this year's award for Most Outstanding Professor. This award is given each year to a faculty member who has been an outstanding teacher, advisor, and contributor to students' quality of life and education. This year's outstanding professor is Professor Kay Levine. Professor Levine has been teaching at Emory Law since 2003. She received her JD from the University of California, Berkeley, where she served as an editor for the Berkeley Women's Law Journal. She has earned both a master's and a PhD in jurisprudence and social policy from UC Berkeley. Before joining Emory, Professor Levine served as a law clerk for the Honorable David Allen Ezra, U.S. District Court. She served as a deputy district attorney in Riverside County, and Professor Levine's articles appear in numerous law reviews and peer-reviewed journals, including the Emory Law Journal, the Wake Forest Law Review, the American Criminal Law Review, Law and Social Inquiry, the Fordham Urban Law Journal, and Studies in Law, Politics, and Society. Speaking with her students, and having been one of her students myself, it is abundantly clear why she is being recognized today. One student said, "Professor Levine is a special professor because she cares about your opinion and that she shows that she cares. She asks for your opinion, considers it, and then challenges it. She goes above and beyond what is expected with intense preparation and knowledge of the issues she teaches. No professor in America crams in as much value into an hour-and-a-half class as Professor Levine. As an advisor for Law Review Comments, good gracious, she makes her advisees sign an agreement that they will abide by her stricter than the journals deadlines and requirements. She is a fantastic professor." Another student said, "Professor Levine is awesome, just awesome. She is by far the best professor in breaking down complicated subjects to a level that can be easily understood, grasped, and most importantly, retained for the future. Every time friends or family ask the all too familiar, 'Hey, you're almost a lawyer,' questions, I can be very confident in that criminal procedure, I can actually apply the law to their crazy facts extremely well. No caveats needed." Another student said, "Professor Levine was always extraordinarily organized in the way she ran her classes. She is an excellent lecturer, and she always inspired her students to come prepared to class. She was able to impart tons of information in a very short amount of time. She is quick-witted and very funny." Another student said, "Professor Levine is by far the best teacher I've ever had. She single-handedly got me in criminal law and is the person that truly made me passionate about criminal law practice. Finally, I have taken 2 classes from Professor Levine this year, not because I have any intention of pursuing a career in criminal law, but because she is such a remarkable teacher. In 18 years of school, I can say without a doubt that Professor Levine is the most caring and conscientious educator I have ever had the honor of studying under. The passion and attention she takes in meticulously teaching each class gives every student the opportunity to learn to their absolute fullest potential. She is a strong woman and an amazing role model. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my distinct pleasure to present the award for Most Outstanding Professor to Kay Levine.
Thank you, Megan, and the class of 2013. I feel incredibly honored to be standing here today to say a few words at what is undoubtedly one of the most important rituals of your lives up until this point. It's especially fun for me because I was on the stage in Tull Auditorium when you all first came to Emory, offering you my thoughts about how to make the most of your 3 years here. And you all have come a long way since then. But as I looked for a foundation for this speech, the speech that is meant to send you off into the world, inspired and ready to take on all the challenges that life has to offer, I researched the history of Atlanta and of Emory, and I came upon something that I hadn't previously known about. Hank Aaron, one of Atlanta's favorite sons and a living emblem of the Civil Rights Revolution, gave the graduation speech here in 1995. Now, I'm not a baseball fan, but I am married to one, and I seem to be raising one in my 6-year-old son, who's in the audience today. But even I was inspired, I was taken by something that Hank Aaron said to the class in 1995, almost 20 years ago. He said, "Playing ball or practicing law, a person gets just an occasional opportunity to do something great. And when the time comes, just 2 things matter: how well prepared you are to seize the moment, and whether you have the courage to take your best swing." Of all the timeless messages that I thought you might take with you today, this one I felt was particularly worthy. Appreciate the value of preparation and courage. Let me start with preparation, since that's what the last 3 years have been about. The doors over a famous French cathedral perfectly capture the value of an Emory Law School education. They read, "Go in good, come out better." Now, in your time here, you've gotten better at legal writing, and you've gotten better at critically analyzing fact patterns, and you have certainly gotten better at section wars and speed typing, especially in my class, and registering for classes at the stroke of 9 p.m. But hopefully you have also gotten better at surrounding yourself with people you can learn from, at recognizing the value of the communities to which you belong. As Michael Dell has often said, the key to sustained success is to never be the smartest person in the room. If you find yourself in that spot, invite more people in or go find a different room. We are all gifts to each other, and as I've gotten older, I've realized that my growth as a person and my growth as a teacher has come from building relationships with other people. In that regard, I completely agree with Justice Sonia Sotomayor, who began her life as the daughter of Puerto Rican immigrants in the projects in the South Bronx, but who later achieved great success as a student at Princeton and Yale, and later as a prosecutor and private litigator in New York City, before becoming a Supreme Court justice. She believes that no matter who you are, no matter where you are in life, there are very few people you can't learn something from. To her insight, I would add, if you think someone has nothing to teach you, you might not be looking hard enough. For example, I learned how to be a teacher, not just from my mother, who is a college chemistry professor, or from my faculty mentors in graduate school at Berkeley, but also from my husband, who teaches math and science in 4th grade in Atlanta Public Schools, and from my wonderful colleagues here at Emory Law School, and from every crop of students I have ever had. You guys inspire me to keep improving, to keep things current, and to keep the assigned reading to a manageable level. But admittedly, I'm having a hard time with that last one. I've learned much about law's language and impact from judges I've appeared before and from lawyers I've seen argue cases in courts across this country. But the most important lessons, the ones that have stuck with me the most, have come from crime victims and defendants and jurors, all of whom experience the justice system as messy rather than majestic. In my view, their opinions need to be frequently sought and better understood, because they are the people whose lives are most personally affected by the doctrines and policies we design. But in any event, it's a lifetime of listening to and learning from other people that will make you well prepared when the big moments arise. Whether those moments involve drafting an international contract for the World Bank, or arguing an issue of constitutional magnitude before a federal court, or presenting some challenge before the local school board. Unlike preparation, courage is something that is not easily taught. Some of it is inborn, some of it develops organically over a lifetime. But courage is essential to advancing us beyond a status quo we find unacceptable. Robert Kennedy once said, when speaking to a group of young people in South Africa, "It is from numberless acts of courage and belief that human history is shaped. Each time someone stands up for an ideal, or acts to improve the lot of others, or strikes out against injustice, that person sends a ripple of hope, of energy, of daring." Here, on the beautiful morning of your graduation from Emory, I extend to each of you the same challenge. Fascism, racism, sexism, oppression of religious and ethnic and sexual minorities, domestic violence, the destruction of the environment, the erosion of the Bill of Rights, all of these are problems on the world stage that deserve your attention. But these problems also exist in our own backyards, in workplaces and communities across the United States. And if you tolerate injustice at the local level, we can't hope to make a dent in the worldwide problem. Figure out which of these issues moves you. Figure out where you stand and get involved. If you reach down within yourself, you'll find the courage to take a risk, to do something great when the opportunity presents itself. That is the blessing and the responsibility that comes with having a law degree. You have the power and the tools to do something that can influence the history of your generation. But you need the courage to do it, to step up to the plate and swing for the fence when the time comes. Courage is not just the province of revolutionaries and community leaders. In the 10 years I have been at Emory, I have seen extraordinary displays of courage in the Emory student population. Students who have been wrongfully accused of crime, who do not become bitter, but instead are motivated to improve the legal system to prevent future injustices. Students who have suffered disabilities and illnesses, who refuse to do anything but study harder to overcome these deficits. Students who have stood in a courtroom, scared to death to speak, yet they conquer their nerves and manage to deliver an elegant opening statement or conduct a brilliant cross-examination, all in service of the client. That is the sort of courage that I find inspirational. I urge you to bring preparation and courage to each task, not just the monumental ones. Bring to each endeavor the sum total of who you are, your talents, your beliefs, your experiences, your passions, even your eccentricities. Put yourself out there every day. Make your mom proud. or your dad, or your spouse, or your partner, or your children. They may not understand the details of what you're doing, but don't mistake that for not caring or not knowing the difference between using your best effort and giving something less. You came to Emory 3 years ago because you were inspired to learn the law. And now you know that learning is not just something you do, it's about who you become. I hope over the course of your time at Emory, you have become not only more knowledgeable, but also more aware, more curious, and ultimately more inspired to use your knowledge and skills to help those who need you the most. And that you continue this approach to learning, committed to preparation and infused with courage throughout your lives. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Kay, and thank you, Kaysen, for those truly outstanding remarks to this outstanding class. Thank you, Megan. And I also want to thank, again, outgoing SBA President Kaysen Wen and the entire Student Bar Association for their wonderful work this year. Your work, along with the efforts of our faculty and administration, make the law school a better place to study, to enjoy each other's company, and to thrive as a community. It is now with pride, though tinged with sadness, that we bid you farewell. On a personal note, it was on August 19, 2010, that Kay Levine and I greeted you at orientation and introduced you to our first-year curriculum. I had the pleasure of getting to know some of you in our then new class in legislation and regulation, a sprint from the snail darter to Chevron. For others, our introduction came in constitutional law. I'm sure you remember Marbury and the dangers of tyranny. That must seem like a very long time ago. But on behalf of the faculty, I thank you for spending the last 3 years here and for making our work so enjoyable. It has been a great privilege to study law with you, and I thank your family and friends for sharing you with us over that time. As you now depart to face a changing world, remember that one thing that will never change is that this is your home in the law, and it always will be. So as you leave, remember those back here at Emory. Remember the students who come after you, who'll be looking to you for advice, and remember the faculty. We want to keep in touch to find out how you're doing. We look forward to welcoming you back often. And now the time has arrived. You will cross the stage, be hooded, and you will emerge as a graduate of this great law school. Professor Kay Levine will perform the hooding. Some graduates have requested the hooding to be performed by a member of the legal profession who has been close, supportive, and influential in their lives, and they will join us on stage. Assistant Dean Catherine Brokaw will invite each graduate to cross the stage. Dean Brokaw.
Thank you. Dean Shapiro, honored guests, graduates, Emory Law colleagues, and faculty, I present to you the recipients of the following degrees. For the degrees of Doctor of Law and Doctor of Philosophy, Sarah Eileen Stein with high honors. Sarah will be hooded by her father, Richard Stein, South Carolina, 1975. For the degrees of Doctor of Law and Master of Business Administration, Andrew Jacob Beatus. Leah Burke Chacon with high honors. Leah will be hooded by her father, David Burke, Cornell, 1972. E. Clark Copeland. William Lee Felder. Will be hooded by his friend, Rachel Gordon, Emory Law, 2012. Abraham Umansky Kanoff with honors. Abe will be hooded by his uncle, Don Aslan, NYU 1970. Raymond Tyler Murtaugh. Grant Lee Peterson with honors. Grant will be hooded by his wife, Katie Peterson, Emory Law, 2012. Alexander Lyle Phillips. For the degrees of Doctor of Law and Master of Divinity, Jennifer Heald Kidwell. For the degrees of Doctor of Law and Master of Public Health, Helen A. Jabron with honors. For the degree of Doctor of Law and the Tiger Program Certificate in Intellectual Property, Sean Simon Amuel with honors. Adam Sprott Boger with honors. Adam will be hooded by his father, Kenneth Boger, Boston Law, 1976. Natanya Harper Brooks. Natanya will be hooded by her mentors, Bill Strickland, Emory Law, 1978, and Jason Schwartz, UGA, 1998. Stephen Furketic with honors. Cameron Gower with honors. Jacob Gustav Greenberg with honors. Jake will be hooded by his father, Edward Greenberg, Syracuse, 1980. Thomas William Shea with honors. Michael F. Nullett with honors. Jason Patrick Oppenheim with high honors. Matthew Parker. Matthew will be hooded by his brother, David Parker, Washington and Lee, 2008. Gotham Y. Reddy with honors. Shahar Sapir. Leroy Strasburger, Jr. with honors. For the degree of Doctor of Law and Certificate in Transactional Law and Skills, Osama Zahir Abdelaziz. Samuel Tarpley Ashworth, Jr. with honors. Ryan M. Bailey. Tala Marikit Bankston. Brent Nathaniel Bartlett. Trinity Blake Best with honors. Trinity will be hooded by his father-in-law, Charles Willis, Washington, 1973. Lauren Bewley with honors. Daniel E. Bolmer. Laura C. Brockelman with honors. Laura will be hooded by her mother, Connie Contas, UCLA, 1984, her father, Kent Brockelman, UCLA, 1984, and her stepmother, Rosemarie Cristofalo, Arizona State, 1986. Dominic J. Capitosto. Christopher A. Cortez with honors. Elliot L. Coward. Melissa E. Curvino. Solomon David with honors. Samuel Benjamin Dietrich. Nathan Earl Everly with honors. John P. Gorham. Jamel Q. Harvey. Michael L. Howell. Mike will be hooded by his father, John Howell, Duke, 1975. Marshall A. Kaufman with honors. Jordan Clark Carney with high honors. Tyler Custer Keenan. Julie A. Kessler. Julie will be hooded by her mentor, Lisa Moore, UVA, 1998. Stella Lee. Stella will be hooded by her father, J.C. Lee, George Washington, 1987. Kimberly A. Leonard with honors. Daniel Jeremy Levin. Dan will be hooded by his father-in-law, Lawrence Lehman, Tulane, 1977. Jeffrey David Levy. Jeff will be hooded by his brother, Jason Levy, Florida, 2012. Xiao Chin Lee. David Lynn. Ian J. McMillan. Andrew N. Marks. Andrew Wilson McCauley. Gayatri S. Nair. Andrea P. Wynn. Tony Park. Tony will be hooded by his aunt, Insuk Koo, Rutgers, 1998. Amelia J. Parr. Amelia will be hooded by her aunt, Virginia Sykes, Columbia, 1981. Samantha Peng. William D. Ponder with honors. Reza Adam Rabi'i. Brandon T. Reeser with honors. Nadia B. Salim. Sharon N. Samuel. William Robert Shear with honors. Natasha C. Steinberg with honors. Damien A. Frignon. James K. Wade with honors. Ryan A. Walsh. Ariana Elkida Washington. Matthew D. Watkins. Kaysen Wen. Kaysen will be hooded by his mentor, Catherine Powell, Emory Law, 1989. Zainab Rekiatu Worrying. Zainab will be hooded by her friend, Jenaba Jabati, University of Fribourg, 2007. Brittany Green Wyatt. Brittany will be hooded by her father, Ed Wyatt, Emory Law, 1975. For the degree of Doctor of Law, Drew Alberts. Malone W. Allen. Anna E. Altizer with honors. Anna will be hooded by her mentor, Paul McClarty, Emory Law, 1966. Brooks Anderson. Vanita B. Andrapolial with honors. Edward W. Angioli. Michael J. Baranovic, Jr. with honors. Bethany Ella Barnes with honors. Bethany will be hooded by her mentor, the Honorable Kimberly Esmond Adams, Notre Dame, 1999. Vicki Samara Bass. Vicki will be hooded by her father, Glenn Bass, Emory Law, 1982. James Boone Baxter with honors. Richard B. Beecham with honors. Adam J. Biedenbender with honors. Donna Lee Beeshold with honors. Donna will be hooded by her aunt, Diana Holmes, Florida, 1980. Rachel Marie Belcher with honors. Rachel will be hooded by her best friend, Hannah Palmquist, Emory Law, 2012. Andrew Belisle with honors. Stephanie Jane Bentley. Stephanie will be hooded by her father, Jeff Bentley, Michigan, 1973. Anne V. Berlau with honors. Kedar Sanjay Bhatia with honors. Audrey J. Biggerstaff with honors. Audrey will be hooded by her mentor and future mother-in-law, Donna Bergeson, South Carolina, 1984. Brian Matthew Bonner. Brian will be hooded by his sister, Megan Lyman, Pepperdine, 2004. Melissa L. Bonington with honors. Lucas Matthew Brainerd. Lauren Augustina Branchini. Trevor Everton Bryce. Emily F. Bronstein with honors. David Barrett Broussard with honors. Barrett will be hooded by his mother, Marion Broussard, Tulane, 1978. Jessica Marie Brown with honors. Nia Keith Brown. Nia will be hooded by her grandfather, the Honorable Damon Keith, Howard, 1949. Naomi C. Bryant. Naomi will be hooded by her mother, Miriam Bryant, Mercer, 1983, and her father, Jonathan Bryant, Mercer, 1983. Kevin W. Burdett. Michael Burstein. Jared S. Bazine with high honors. Tabitha Lynn Calabrese with honors. Tabs will be hooded by her fiancé, Dustin Ogden, Florida, 2006. Cara M. Caparelli. Michael Edward Capps, Jr. Mike will be hooded by his uncle, Richard Brock, Alabama, 1993. Anthony Joseph Sestaro. Anthony will be hooded by his mentors, Tara Adjonthaya, Mercer, 1997, and Judy Klein, Tennessee, 1996. Annie Chan. Nicholas Chandler with honors. Nick will be hooded by his cousin, Bruce Caraway, Emory Law, 1986. Owen Chaput with honors. Simranjit Singh Chatha. Megan Elizabeth Claiborne with honors. Megan will be hooded by her father, James Patrick Claiborne, UGA, 1979. Joshua Lee Clark with honors. Daniel Ryan Cole with high honors. Jessica H. Cowan. Casey Ann Cusick with honors. Courtney Rihanna Dean. Julia Loren Dempelwolf with honors. Dana L. Dixon with honors. Yilin Ding. Connor D. Dirks. Michelle Lee Disman. Eric A. Dominguez. Jeffrey Dufresne. Rachel Jessica Echamendia with honors. Sagiv Y. Edelman with honors. Erica Joy Aiding. Francis L. Ellenbogen. Ranice R. Fairclough. Ranice will be hooded by her friend, Sandra Fuller, Buffalo 2000. James Lyle Felix. Maura P. Finn. Brett Joel Fleischer with high honors. Scott Forbes. Scott will be hooded by his cousin, Amanda Clark, Georgia State, 2007. Bradley Ross Gershell. Brad will be hooded by his father, Alan Gershell, Detroit, 1978. Jasmine Amber Gibbs. Courtney H. Ginn with high honors. Marissa Ray Gittleman with honors. Julia Christine Glasgow. Julia will be hooded by her father, James Glasgow, Arizona, 1969. Kelly Gould with honors. Jeffrey Wilkoff Grossman. Jeff will be hooded by his mentor, Susan Carter, Wake Forest, 1994. Matthew J. Grossman. Anila Celia Gunawardana. Anila will be hooded by her friend, Kristen Tullis, Emory Law, 2012. Gabriel Anthony Hall. Ian K. Hall. Benjamin Ian Hahn with honors. Simon Peter Hansen with honors. Simon will be hooded by his brother, Nathan Hansen, Hamline 2007. Adam Hardaway. Andrew M. Healy. Drew will be hooded by his sister, Brett Healy, Wake Forest, 2011. Christina Grace Hedesheimer. Christina will be hooded by her boyfriend, Adam Murphy, Emory Law, 2012. Erin Rosemary Henschel. Anne E. Harold. Amanda Lee Hodgson with honors. Sean M. Hoffman. Sean will be hooded by his mother, Joanne Faith Copeland, Wayne State, 1985. Laura C. Holland. Catherine Elise Hopkins with honors. William H. Hudson. Emily Barry Hutchins with honors. Mercedes L. Jefferis. Jeremy A. Johnson. Jeremy will be hooded by his mentor, the Honorable Harold Melton, UGA, 1991. Robert M. Kagensky. Jason Hansol Kang. Christopher D. Caney with honors. Alexander Benjamin Cass with honors. Alexander will be hooded by his friend, fraternity brother, and mentor, Jeff Klimas, Boston, 2009. Paul L. Katz with honors. Samantha N. Kevich. Stephanie Kim. Robert Edward Neese III. Tersa Oksana Corduba. Tersa will be hooded by her future mother-in-law, Neela Philpo, Golden Gate, 1985. Louis T. Lavarone. Alicia M. LaCroix. Sung Hee Lee. Vanessa Bao Kun Lee. Vanessa will be hooded by her mother, Diane Caro, Washington, 1981. Chad K. Lennon, with high honors. Chad will be hooded by his future father-in-law, Robert Orovitz, Florida, 1985. Robert J. Leonard. Philip N. Lewis. Philip will be hooded by his mentor, Curtis Martin II, Valparaiso, 2003. Catherine J. Linville. Carmine L. Lipolis III. Erica Lee Lidovitz. Erica will be hooded by her mother, Susan Dujak, George Washington, 1983. Ellis Chenmei Liu. Juliana Boite Lorenzo, with honors. Lulu Ma. Aliyah N. Man. Alexander C. McInnes, with honors. Jacob S. Madsen. Jordan Matthew Mahoney. Jordan will be hooded by his mother, Sonia Mahoney, Mercer, 1985. Elizabeth A. Main. Michelle Zimmerman Marchioni, with honors. Nicholas Thomas Martinez. Leonard Todd Mathis, Jr. David Corey Mayer, with honors. Andrew William McClelland, Jr. Alexander C. Meyer with honors. Daniel B. Millman with honors. Regina M. Minkberg. Regina will be hooded by her father, Elliot Minkberg, Harvard, 1977. Gregory Richard Mitchell. Gregory will be hooded by his mother, Cheryl Mitchell, Boston, 1982. Tarek N. Mohedin. Ivana L. Moles with honors. Heidi Elizabeth Grothaus Neal. Trevor Patrick Newberry. Trevor will be hooded by his good friend Stephen Glasgow, UVA, 2007. Michelle C. Newman with honors. Christy K. North with honors. Stephanie Lauren Noman. John R. Odell with honors. Trevor Aaron Ogden. Samantha K. Orovitz with honors. Samantha will be hooded by her father, Robert Orovitz, Florida, 1985. Christopher O. Paredes. Komal Kennery Patel with honors. Shamal Patel. Alan J. Payne. Ashley Nicole Payne. Ashley will be hooded by her friend Elizabeth Hall, Emory Law, 2011. Robert J. Pendergrass. Edward Raymond Philpo. Edward will be hooded by his mother, Neela Philpo, Golden Gate, 1985. Francesca Marie Pisano with high honors. Madison Moore Poole with honors. Andrew J. Posel. Sarah K. Powell with honors. Emily H. Kwan. Dina Ragab. Raviranga Raj. Ravi will be hooded by his cousin, Vijay Palaniswamy, Harvard, 2003. Sri Ram Rajan. Jeffrey C. Rathgaber with honors. Jeff will be hooded by his father, John Rathgaber, Suffolk, 1976. Ala Rakin with honors. Elizabeth Page Redpath with high honors. Elizabeth will be hooded by her father, Randolph Redpath, Wake Forest, 1982. Gregory M. Reese. Barry Alexis Reish. Barry will be hooded by her aunt, Roxanne Reish Axelrod, Emory Law, 1978. Brandon S. Reisman with honors. Aaron Saltzman. Joshua L. Saunders. Christina Scalara. Jamie Cameron Schickler with honors. Shay R. Schulman. Michael S. Sclafani. Ashley Nicole Scott. Ashley will be hooded by her mentor, Tamika Nordstrom, Hamline 1997. Jessica Amber Sears with high honors. Reed Seligman. Jessica A. Scharf with honors. Scott Harrison Shepard with honors. Michael C. Schultz with honors. Michael will be hooded by his mentor and friend, Nathan Hartman, Emory Law, 2006. Amanda L. Seifman. Robert T. Sills. Maciel N. Silva. Lauren M. Simons. Mithuna Sivaraman. Katie A. Skian with honors. Katie will be hooded by her uncle, Bill O'Connor, Indiana, 1989. Alyssa Mattingly Smilowitz. Nicole Mary Smith. Robert Hudson Smith. Lauren D. Snow with honors. Scott Gregory Soulage. Sarah Michelle Sternlieb with honors. Sarah will be hooded by her aunt, Andrea Hirsch, Santa Clara, 1984. Lindsay Elizabeth Stewart with honors. Lindsay will be hooded by her mentor and future father-in-law, the Honorable Dale Van Slambrook, South Carolina, 1983. Bradley M. Strickland with honors. Brad will be hooded by his dad, Bill Strickland, Emory Law, 1978. Kirkland George Swan. Kirkland will be hooded by his friend, Michael Joel Smith, Emory Law, 2012. Morgan L. Thomas. Yuval Toledano. David Alexander Tucker. Elizabeth Itsuko Yura. Dawn Volson. Dawn will be hooded by her brother-in-law, Georgie Favervell, Pittsburgh, 2010. Michael G. Varon. Sudabe Joyce Walker with honors. Sarah M. Warren with honors. Alexander B. Weaver with honors. Alex will be hooded by his sister, Jacqueline Lisette Smythe, Miami, 2002. Ashley H. Webb Orenstein. Ashley will be hooded by her mother, Cynthia Webb, Boston, 1982, and her father, Keith Orenstein, Boston, 1982. Laura Ann Wharton. Jamie D. White. Sterling Andrew Winchester. Sterling will be hooded by his good friend, Amy Koldakar, Emory Law, 2011. John W. Wooten. Patricia L. Yates. Trish will be hooded by her cousin, Christina Forte, Emory Law, 2011. Sun Yoon. Matthew Min-soo Yoon. Claire T. Zhang with honors. For the degree of Doctor of Juridical Science, Mark Aaron Goldfeder. Josephine N. Daguirre. For the degree of Master of Laws, Cecily Asifa Alim. Sayali Baput. Conway Taylor, Brown. Yachin Deng. Tian Ding. Olayinka Etheolua Fashagban. Chen Liang Gu. Shi Hao. Sangwon Lee. Tiffany Nicole Moore. Dabi Bayer Doris Nelson. Shlomo Pill. Shakira Maria Rodriguez. For them to catch up. Astrid Sejas. Jimin Song. Kathy Sharita Stewart. Tao Tao. Ifoma Vera, Utah. Tin Yon. Zarab Zembakidza.
There are about 4 people ahead right now.
Ka John. For the degree of Juris Master.
Nice! You did it, Nick! You did it!
John Douglas Holmes. L. Bertress Hobson. Mariam Yobitsa. Tariq M. Johnson. Ty Tavares. Guksup Yoon. Dean Shapiro, I have the honor to present to you and the Emory Law faculty the great class of 2013. Congratulations.
Well, this concludes the formal process of awarding degrees. Again, great congratulations to the class of 2013. To everyone, thank you for joining us today, graduates, faculty, and guests. Please enjoy the remainder of the day in fellowship and celebration, and safe travels as you return home. These proceedings are concluded.